What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the JVL Investment channel. Today we'll be talking about flips versus rentals, pros and cons. Let's get started. Let's talk about the pros and cons and see which one would work better for you. As a new investor to real estate, I would go with flipping first until you're building up capital so you can do both. You can do the flips and the rentals. But in the beginning, probably the flips. Build the capital, put some of the money towards the rental, and then continue flipping. Properties that are good for rentals are multifamilies. 2-family up, the more family, the better. If you can get our hands on complexes, even better. You know, those are huge residual income. So imagine complexes. If you able to make enough money flipping houses, you get to complexes. Everything's math, numbers. Okay, let's say you have a 20-unit building, nice sized building. You collect, it's a 3-bedroom each or 2-bedroom each, depending on area. Let's say rental is $2 grand, $2,000 a month. Times 20 units, that's $40,000 in passive residual income. That's great income. You can retire off that easily. So why not pick up one, pick up two, pick up a few of them. If you want to continue flipping, you want to build up that capital for the renting, just, you know, continue flipping. Eventually, after a few properties, you'll have the money to put down on a rental property, and you can continue flipping. As you continue flipping, you make more money. You take that money and put it in other rental incomes, and you just keep it going. Stay away from singles and condos, because single is only 1-unit rental. Condos, they come with HOA fees. In my area, the closer to Boston, the better. More rent, better renters. You know, you have people that's working, the working class. You can look it up, the stats on eviction rate. Certain areas you'll just find better tenants. It's just the way it is. You know, you go as far as Springfield, Worcester, there's not as many jobs, and the eviction rate is just extremely high. It's just they're not able to make the money to pay for the rent. So me, I would stay away from those areas. Big cities, big growing cities, developing cities, big buildings going up, business going up, everything thriving. The demand is high, there's not enough units for rent. That drives the price up, and then you can cherry pick your tenants. You know, you do your background check, Corey checks, everything. When they check out, you bring them on. Credit's good, that's a plus. That's not necessarily what you go for, because if they have good credit, they usually can pick up a house themselves and buy instead of rent. They can just have a mortgage. Let's go over renting. Renting pros and cons. The pros, passive income, of course. Passive incomes, you sit on a property, usually the value of the property goes up. There is that chance you might take that it might drop in value. If your goal is to hold it for a long period of time, even recessions and depression era, it will drop, but it will come right back up. It's safe to say the value of real estate, even though it drops, it's there. The value is there. Okay, some cons. With rentals, you're gonna deal with some things that I would call headaches. Repairs, you know, tenant issues. Repairs, there's gonna be little things here and there that breaks. That's just part of the business. If your intent is to make money, you gotta put that in your head. That stuff like that will happen. You know, don't get overwhelmed. It's just stuff that will happen. It happened, it broke, things got damaged, just fix it. Any business you enter into, whether it's real estate or retail store, any kind of business, they have their own headaches. If you're making money, you're gonna have to deal with some sort of headache. But you're getting paid for the headache, so it's okay.
What about if they want to hire a property manager to deal with the headaches?
So you can do that. You can hire a property manager to deal with a lot of the headaches. Not all of it, but you can do that. A property manager would be paid somewhere around 10% plus or minus, depending on the type of property, how much work is involved, the condition, You know, so it varies around that 10%. Another con to having rental property. Usually when you have rental property, a big one, especially commercial, you put 20 to 30% down. So the cons are you have money tied up in the property and you can't use it for flipping. So that's one of the cons. But if you have that extra money and you don't need it, then leave it in the property. Okay, let's go over pros and cons for flipping. Pros are fast money, depending how fast you go with the construction. If you got the right subs to do the work and they can do it well and quickly. Another pro is no tenants. You don't have to deal with any tenants, no headaches on that side, but cons are you gotta have to deal with headaches with the subcontractors. If you have bad ones, if they don't show up for work, they disappear. So you deal with other kind of headaches, but you're getting paid for the headaches. So that makes it okay. So as you're doing flips, you know, the smart thing to do is flip these properties, sell them, makes your money. Once you have a good chunk of money, just put it into rental properties. Put the down payment or fix the property and then refinance out the property at 70 to 80%. That's what the banks will allow. So cons, okay. So with flipping, the cons to this, you know, rental properties, if you have a maintenance person on board, you don't have to be too involved. You don't have to do as much work. But flipping, you have to work. You know, sometimes you gotta get in there and physical, you know, handle things. You know, you may have good subs, but you know, there's gonna be little things that you know they miss, and sometimes it's easier for you to go in and just fix it rather than making phone calls to arrange them to fix it, because you can just fix it yourself. You're gonna spend less time if it's a little issue to fix it yourself than to make a phone call, arrange and coordinate everything. It's just easier, just handle it real quick. At least that's how I do it. So another con is once you do a flipping, you know, you gotta have cash reserves. Your money is gonna be tied up a little bit, especially with flipping. You know, there's a lot of money invested because you have to have some skin in the game. Even if you dealing with hard lenders, they ask 14%, 4 points. That's just an example. You have to be quick. You have to be able to fix these properties quick so you don't have to pay too much in interest. So the faster you finish the house, the faster you sell the house, the better for you. Your bottom line be higher, because the longer you hold on to the house, the more you pay in interest. If you're trying to save on your guys and they're slow, you're gonna pay on interest anyway, so you don't want to do that. Everything is math. Do your math correctly, you would not lose. Okay guys, now we went through flips versus rentals. If you like, subscribe to our channel, turn on the bell notification and like the video.